Hi, everybody. This is What is the Constitution by Patricia Brennan DeMuth. We're now going to read the text that is this last chapter in the book, The Living Constitution. So, certainly, if you want to have your book in hand so you can read along, that's great. Otherwise, you can just follow me as I read the text that's on the screen. I hope you have your brain plugged in. Let's go. All right, so we're going to be reading the chapter. So once again, we're reminding ourselves that we looked at this just shortly ago. I hope you just watched the first part of this lesson so that is still in your brain. And so now when we read, hopefully that will make things make more sense. If we run into something that just kind of surprises us or seems weird, we should back up and reread. And again, let's see if we can answer this question in our heads. What does it mean to have a living constitution? It's alive? What does that mean? All right, so join me. Let's turn to page 97 and let's get started. Chapter 9, The Living Constitution. The U.S. Constitution was far from finished in 1789. The founders knew that every generation of Americans would face new changes, changes the founders couldn't foresee. So, they made sure that future citizens could control and change their government. One way is by adding more amendments. Since the Bill of Rights, 17 other amendments have been added to the Constitution. Some amendments right the wrongs of the past. Slavery was a burning injustice left standing when the Constitution was first written. The issue led to the Civil War, 1861 to 1865. Upon the victory of the North, the 13th Amendment of 1865 was passed, outlawing slavery everywhere in the United States. Later, the 14th and 15th Amendments granted equal protection under the law to all citizens in 1868 and voting rights to all men in 1870. It wasn't until 1920, with the passing of the 19th Amendment, that voting rights were given to another huge group of Americans, women. There have been thousands of attempts to amend the Constitution, but it's very hard to do. 2/3 of the House and Senate have to agree on a new amendment. Then 3/4 of the states also have to pass it. So we read this page already, so I'm going to skip ahead. Over the course of the country's history, situations have arisen that have brought to life every point that the framers debated. 8 presidents died or were assassinated in office. Because of the Constitution, vice presidents were ready to step into office and keep our government running smoothly. The framers hoped the Constitution was strong enough to hold up the government in difficult times, and it has. The Constitution, that amazing 4-page document, created the longest living democratic government ever known. You can see the original signed copy of the Constitution on display at the National Archives in Washington, D.C. The ink of George Washington's signature has hardly faded, and at the top, embossed in huge, flowing script, are the words that include all Americans, we the people.